Xbox has lost this generation, and Microsoft knows it. If you look at the public discourse right now, due to recent developments, a lot of people are expecting them to delay their next console just like PlayStation's planning to do. But Microsoft knows the truth. They've seen the numbers. They know they can't wait. For Xbox, it's 2027 or nothing. 2025 was a rough year for Microsoft and Xbox. They only sold about 2 million consoles the entire year. That is not good. And then Game Pass, they're not expanding there. It's pretty much flatlined and stagnant. In fact, they were losing subscribers when they tried to raise the price and had to go back on it. Their first portable Xbox, the ROG Ally X Xbox Edition, no one's buying that. It's doing really badly. Every reviewer has said it's a poor experience. They are not making a dent in the PC handheld market, especially not compared to the Steam Deck. In fact, the real only success that they had last year was selling Xbox games that used to be exclusive on the PlayStation. They did great selling their games on PlayStation. And all of this seems to relate to the fact that Xbox leadership is powerless. Whether it's Sarah Bond or Phil Spencer, neither one of them seem to have much of a say in the company. Satya Nadella at the top of Microsoft is pulling the strings now, and they don't care about Xbox. They care about AI right now. And we'll get into how that affects them even more in the next section. But before we dive into their new problems, let me just take a quick second to ask that if you enjoy this video, that you like it, and if you'd like to see more of my content, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year, so it would be pretty awesome if you subscribed. RAM prices have skyrocketed, if you didn't hear about it, and other PC parts, hard drives, a lot of different things are all going way, way up right now in the PC market. But this also affects the price of parts for console manufacturers as well. And so because of these price increases, insiders are saying that PlayStation is pushing back their next console, the PS6, by another year or two. It was originally going to come out in 2027, just like the Xbox was rumored to come out, but now it's going to be 2028, maybe even as late as 2030. But Sony's doing great. They don't really need a new console right now. Microsoft can't afford to wait. And like I was saying, the Steam Deck and PC handhelds are continuing to grow, but Valve's also about to release the Steam Machine, which is going to be their push into the living room, into the console space. And whether it's that console or a do-it-yourself or some third party, you're going to see Steam machines popping up in people's living rooms, and they're probably going to be eating a chunk out of Microsoft's market share. Now, of course, there's the Switch 2 at play as well, but I don't think Microsoft's really worried too much about them at this point in time, because they're not making a dedicated handheld. They're making PC handhelds that give you that handheld-like experience, that console-like experience on your handheld. But, it's still a PC at the end of the day. And if it's running Windows, it's not the greatest experience to have in that format. But coming back to Steam, Windows is not in a very good place right now after forcing everybody to upgrade to Windows 11, and a lot of people are considering switching to Linux after all these years. It's an operating system that people like me have loved for many years, but a lot of people are just now willing to give the shot because Microsoft has screwed up so badly. Steam might become the default gaming OS in the next decade, and that means that not only is Xbox in trouble, but Windows as well. Linux is up to 3% on the Steam hardware survey, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but it was only 2% just a year or so ago, and it was down to about 1% if you go back 5 years ago. So that's a significant increase, and if it continues, it might get into the double digits before we know it. Microsoft is at the point of no return right now. If they don't do something soon, the Xbox brand will die. This next Xbox, maybe it's a traditional console, maybe it's a console-like PC, whatever it is, it's probably going to be using this chip called Magnus that's been leaked, coming from AMD, but the hardware is not really important. Today we're talking about the strategy and the timing, and so whatever the system ends up being, Microsoft needs to push that it still comes out next fall in 2027. They're either just going to have to increase the price or eat the cost of those part increases, and they really don't have any other option. By 2028, 2029, it'll be too late. The Xbox brand will have already faded. Many people have already moved on. If they want Xbox to continue being a brand that matters, they have to move as soon as possible. Otherwise, their other option is to just cancel this console and go strictly software only. Stick to Windows, give up on Xbox, maybe use it as your publisher label for all these studios that you gobbled up, but ultimately, they're going to go the way of Sega if they can't figure out a way to make this next machine work somehow. And whether Sony and Nintendo take that market share or Steam gobbles it up, it's not going to be in the hands of Microsoft if there is no console next year. In fact, they really need a console this year, but I don't think that's feasible in terms of the technology. And so yeah, time's running out for Microsoft. They either got to get this console next year or just give it up. Alright, well, I think that's pretty much it for the video today. Thanks for watching. And once again, if you liked it, please click that like button. If you'd like to see more of my content, click subscribe and do the usual things. Leave a comment below if you've got some thoughts on this. Do you think it's going to be coming out in 2027? I really hope so. If Microsoft lets Xbox die and we lose that competition in the market, that's not good for anybody, even if you're not a Microsoft fan. And so, yeah, I hope they figure something out because things are looking dire right now in Xbox land. But until we know more from Microsoft officially, we'll have to keep on guessing at what they're doing. And yeah, I'm just gonna, I guess, leave it there, and I'll see you next time.